Now we go to our second of the Minimax heats today. It's Groups A versus C. Here is your starting grid. So on the front row, it will be Jacob Ashcroft from the United Kingdom and Felipe Reyes from the Netherlands alongside each other on the front row. Oliver Warner and Lucas Dorder will be on row number 2. Victor Royds and Rory Armstrong, row 3. Ryan Rivers and Nikita Lubimov, row 4. Boris Verhagen and Maxime Becker round out the top 10. Row number 6, it's Jack Freeman, João Maria Pereira from the UK and Portugal. It's an all-Belgian row number 7 with Bran van der Weken and Tristan Shays, with Vic van Kampenhout and Lieke van Berkel rounding out the top 8 rows. Leo Gonzalez and Zen Lindemann round out the top 18 positions, with Andreas Jerrup and Maria Roberto rounding out the top 20. Rounding out the 25-strong grid, it's Ryan Rampadarath, Jeff Baker, Jente Moonen, Kieran Stewart and Mikael Kumas. So the drivers now go onto their official formation lap ahead of 7 minutes plus a lap of racing. So 12 and a half rows, 25 drivers about to go into battle. This will be the last heat for half of the grid effectively, as we will now make our way into the final corner. The drivers will now split. They head into the tram lines, revs rise. Are we ready? Are we steady? Heat 2 for Minimax is underway. Good start by the pole sitter Ashcroft as he leads the field into turn 1 and 2. Oliver Warner. And there has been a little bit of an incident. That's Rory Armstrong and also the 129 that has just been involved, João Maria Pereira from Portugal. So Oliver Warner makes his way up into third position behind Felipe Reyes. There's always a pinch point going into a particular corner on the circuit, and unfortunately both Pereira and Armstrong ending up intertwined. Pereira starting from 12th, Armstrong starting from 6th position on the grid. Now they've got the field makes its way through into turn number 10 on the opening lap. It's going to be close quarter on this one, I think, judging by the difference in, well, the difference in space between the top 6 drivers at this moment. So Ashcroft leads the way. The gap between him and second, which is Felipe Reyes, just over a 10.17 of a second. Oliver Warner rounds out the top 3. He's being hounded by Buvin Power's young Estonian, Nikita Lubimov, in the battle for P3. Fourth, it's Lucas Dorder. We've also got the likes of Boris Verhagen and Ryan Rivers rounding out the top 7 as they make their way through the turn 7 chicane into number 8, the right-hand sweeper, before the left-hand hairpin, which basically is a sweeping hairpin. Bit of a send there. That was a good move there by Oliver Warner. Caught Felipe Reyes slightly unawares there, did the youngster from Argenti Motorsport, who gets a little bit sideways going through turn number 10. And Lubimov nearly loses a position as well. It is going to be side by side with Lucas Dorder. Dorder is going to get the run. Looks like there's going to be a change for position here going into turns 1 and 2. And Lubimov doesn't just lose one position, loses 2 in the process. It's Boris Verhagen that gets through. So Lubimov finds himself down in... Lubimov now is demoted to 6th position. Could very shortly be 5th because it's side by side. They are nearly touching wheels. But Verhaag stays ahead of the Estonian for the moment, through into turn number 7. 4.5 minutes plus an additional lap still remain on the counter. Ashcroft has started to build a little bit of a gap. It was just over half a second over Oliver Warner after the opening 2 laps. We're on lap number 3. That was a bit sideways there. That was from Lucas Stordeur, I believe it was, who's currently running in 4th place. At the back end, just completely stepped away from the 117 from Belgium and nearly lost out to Verhaag and Lubimov. Ashcroft now extends his lead. Jack Freeman, who's now in 10th position, currently sets the fastest lap of the race. Now it goes to Jente Moonen. These drivers are now finding themselves able to break the 60-second barrier. Ashcroft's running in the 59.9s. So halfway through this second Minimax heat of today. Little bit of a bump from behind. Now that was, just wondering who that was. Now I'm wondering if Oliver Warner, has he still got second? No, he hasn't. So Oliver Warner's had a drama, so he was bumped from behind. Going into, I think that was possibly turn 10. Warner's trying to fight for survival here. 3 minutes to go. Ashcroft now has a country mile of a lead, nearly 1.2 seconds. As Boris Verhaag is assaulted from all sides. And through goes, that is Nikita Lubimov from Estonia, gets through for 3rd position. And then his teammate, Lucas Stordeur, gets through as well, using the old think tap gesture on the right-hand side of his race helmet. Felipe Reyes finds himself behind Boris Verhaag. There's Victor Reutz in the 176 for GKS, not too far behind. Zen Lindemann is in 8th, ahead of Oliver Warner and also, well, it was Oliver Warner. It's now Jente Moonen. Vic van Kampenhout in the 124 representing Belgium, currently 14th at the moment, is the fastest driver out there, 59.759 seconds, the fastest lap of this race. And Ashcroft is just going to pull away as far as he can into the distance. We saw that most of the BNL Karting Series kick-off last month. And now it's just all going to get a little bit, not tetchy I would say, but more to the case, it's going to be a little bit more closely fought. But Felipe Reyes and Nikita Lubimov have pulled away from Lucas Stordeur in the meantime. The gap between the 2 teammates of moving power, as there has been a little bit of a change. That is Bram van der Weyken being passed by Vic van Kampenhout. So the top 10 at the moment covered by just over 4 seconds at the end of 5 racing laps. It's definitely getting a lot closer, but there has been a change for second with just under 60 seconds to go on the timer. Nikita Lubimov has got through past Felipe Reyes to take second position. If it had been a minute or so ago, I think Lubimov might have had an opportunity to really close up that gap to Jacob Ashcroft. Change a little bit further back. Zen Lindemann looks to have lost a position. Going through into turn number 6. Lindemann was the mini rookie BNL kickoff champion this year. Also was last year's Micromax champion. Going to be close to the wire with regards to the timer ticking down, because we've only got 7 seconds left to go. This could be on the bubble. And last lap has been shown, so Jacob Ashcroft starts the 8th and final lap. Nikita Lubimov has Felipe Reyes looking up the inside of the 112 from Estonia, going into turns 1 and 2. So if Felipe Reyes can get the run on Nikita Lubimov, the bright blue of Gamoto very much heavily represented in the top 6, courtesy of Felipe Reyes in 3rd, Boris Verhaag and now Ryan Rivers in 5th and 6th respectively. They've got Lucas Lauder sitting currently in 4th place. But Ashcroft has not really had to look back that often. He was getting closed in on by Oliver Warner, but Ashcroft comes out of the final corner. He's going to win a race today, and it's by a comfortable margin. Nice work by Nikita Lubimov, who started 8th, finished in 2nd. Felipe Reyes in 3rd place. Lucas Lauder, Boris Verhaag ran at the top 5, covered by just under 2.5 seconds. Ryan Rivers, Victor Reutz, Jente Moonen, Jack Freeman and Zen Lindemann round out the top 10 positions. Big van Kampenhout, Maxime Becker, Oliver Warner, Bran van der Weyken, Leo Gonzalez, Rory Armstrong, Lieke van Berkel, Tristan Shays, Andres Hierro and João Maria Pereira round out the top 20 positions. And completing the finishing order, it is going to be Jeff Verbeeker, Ryan Rampadarath, Kieran Stewart, Maria Roberto and Mikael Kumas.